In this video, we will going to take up the parametric modeling of this rectangular plate. How this rectangular plate will going to work on the parametric modeling. What does it mean? If I just click on modify, if I go to change parameters, if I take one by one, then automatically everything will going to become one by one. Similarly, I will go for change parameters. I will take 10 by 10. Then automatically everything will going to take the plate thickness and everything will going to be taken care by itself. So this is the advantage. So to do that, so first I will go for the new screen and now I'll go for sketch. Then click on the top plane. The moment when I click on the top plane, I will go for rectangle, select some arbitrary point and I will going to draw one rectangle of any size. Now, first I will create the parameters now. To do that, I will go for modify, I will go for change parameters, click on new. Now click on OK. Then I will take hole diameter first, hole underscore diameter, because there should not be any space between the two words in name. And I will say, for example, I will take hole diameter as 20. Then this will going to be the hole diameter. I will click on OK. Then again, I will go for new, click on internal spacing, internal underscore spacing. Okay. I will take the unit 15 mm or I will take 15 mm internal spacing. I will take internal spacing between holes. I will click on OK. Then I want to create external spacing. Then go to external spacing, and go for expression. I will take 15 and then external spacing between the edge of plate and the hole Click on OK. Then I want the columns. I'll just go for this. I'll click on columns and I don't want the number of units. I will take the expression as 3. Then number of holes in column. Okay. Then I want again go to click on new. Then I want rows. Just type on rows. Then I don't want the no units. So expression is 3. Then I will say number of rows will be okay 3. Again I will go for height of the plate and I will take height as 25 mm. This will going to be the height of plate. Click on OK. Now I want to create shell X and shell Y. So I will just go to shell underscore capital X. Then the expression is, I will take external spacing, okay, multiplied by 2, okay, then plus to take hole diameter, then multiplied by columns, okay, then plus internal spacing multiplied by columns minus internal spacing and close the bracket. So one should do that. Now it is shell X, that is the total length of the plate. Click on OK. Similarly, I want to create new. Then go to shell underscore Y. Then it is mm. Expression is external spacing multiplied by 2, then plus hole diameter multiplied by rows plus internal spacing into rows minus internal spacing, and close the bracket. And then that is the width of the plate. Then click on OK. Now we will say OK now. So now first I want to give the length of the plate. So here what I will do, I will go for circle. I will select some circle and I will draw one circle of any radius. Then I want to give the line, select on this line, go to construction line, select between these two, then between these two. So these 2 points. So this will going to become the external spacing. And similarly on this side also, you take it on this to this. Then similarly from here to here, you take to this. So these two are external spacing. Then I want to go for the dimension. Select on this. You give the whole diameter. Okay. Click on whole diameter. So that becomes 20. Okay. Then I want to click on this. Take external spacing. Take external spacing. That distance is 15 on this side. Similarly, external spacing on this side, it is this. Enter. Now I want to give this. Okay. External spacing of fx. Okay. Now I want to give this distance between this. Okay. So here, the moment when you do that, I will go for coincident on this with reference to this. Okay. Now we have the external spacing between these two. Once you do that, now we have shell x. You just click on the dimension, take shell x, that is the width of the plate. Okay. Then similarly, you take on this, go for shell y. Then enter it. Now we have the first plate. Once you do that, I will go for finish sketch. Okay. Then go to 3 dimension. Now we will go for extrude. Select on this side and also you select this hole and give the distance as minus height. Okay. Height as 25. The moment when you do that, you will get the new body. Now again you go to the sketch, click on this. So you create this. Now I want to go for this hole. So to do that, I will go for extrude, select on this hole and give the distance as here minus height. Okay. Click on this and then click on OK. Now we have this point. The moment when you do that, so you have the spacing here. The next thing is I want to go for go for pattern. If I go for pattern, click on rectangular pattern, go to features, you select this feature. Then click on axis, select on this axis. So you have, this is the number of columns. So here I want to give the number of columns. So what you do, you go for spacing, quantity, I will go for number of columns, correct? Here between these two, we'll go for columns. Click on this. What is that? This thing you're going to get hole diameter plus internal. I will go for hole diameter. Then plus internal spacing. I will just go for internal spacing. Click on this. Okay. The moment when you do that, you will going to get this. Similarly, I want rows. Okay. Then you click on the distance. Here, hole diameter. Again, you take hole diameter plus internal spacing. Go for internal spacing. So the moment when you do that, you will going to get this. I will click on OK. Now, this is how you will be able to get this dimension. Now, what I want is, I want to go for chamfer. So to do that, I will go for modify, click on change parameters, click on this. I have given chamfer, no. Click on new, I will go for chamfer and I will take the expression as 3 mm. Okay. Chamfer at the top face of the hole. Chamfer on the top face of the hole. Okay. Click on OK. Now I will go to click on OK. Now to do this, I will go for modify, click on chamfer, click on the top face of this, okay, and give the chamfer as 3 mm. The moment when you do that, so automatically it will going to take, you just take chamfer. If this distance is more, then what you can do is go to modify, go to chamfer, change parameters. In the chamfer, you make this as 2 mm and say OK. So automatically it will reduce. Similarly, I want to go for chamfer. Okay. Make this as 1. Take it as 1 and click on OK. Now it has been still reduced. So this is how I will be able to create this. So here, what is that actually we are playing with that? So here, the moment when you go for the chamfer, go to top plane. Now I'll go for the top plane. Now here, if you come down to rectangular pattern and right click and go to edit rectangular pattern. So here, the quantity what I am giving is the columns. So that means this is X. So what is the distance? The distance between this point to this point. So what is that? Hole diameter. That is from here to here is the hole diameter plus internal spacing is this. So that is the distance what you want. Again hole diameter plus internal spacing. And again hole diameter plus internal spacing. This is the how it will going to take. Similarly, hole diameter into internal spacing, hole diameter into internal spacing, and hole diameter into internal spacing. Suppose if I want to say shell X and shell Y. So what does it mean? So here, if you go to this, now I will come down to this, go to modify and go to change parameters. Now the moment when you come to this, you can see there is shell X. What is that? External spacing into 2. What does it mean? External spacing that is from here to here. We are talking about X first. External spacing and this is also external spacing. Okay. Then into 2. So that is this distance and this distance. Then hole diameter into rows. Hole diameter into rows. Hole diameter here shell X. Hole diameter into, so I want external spacing. Hole diameter into columns. Here hole diameter into number of columns is 1, 2, 3. So that is what I have given. Then I want to give internal spacing into columns. Internal spacing into column is 1, 2, 3 minus internal spacing. Why? Because that is the distance what we are reducing. Minus internal spacing means this, suppose if you have one more row here, then that would have become 4. So minus internal spacing. So because that is the distance, so always if you take this as the first one, so how many spacing you will going to have? 1 and 2. So that is the meaning of that. The moment when you take internal spacing into column, how many columns are there? 3 columns is there. So that means you will go into 3 internal spacing. 1, 2, 3. That means if you have one more. But since it is the number of columns is always including the original, so you are going to reduce 1 internal spacing. That is the reason why you are getting this. Similarly, on this side also. Then I will just click on OK. So this is how you will be able to explain the formula. So now if I want to reduce the number of columns here, number of rows is 1. And then here number of this one is also 1. And if you just click outside, now you can see, okay, you'll get 1 by 1. Click on OK. Now similarly, if I want, so automatically the thickness will going to be changed. I mean the length and width of the plate will going to be changed. Similarly, I want to go for modify, click on change parameters. Now I want to add one more. I will go for fillet. I will go for fillet. Then I will give the radius as 5. Then fillet radius. radius. Okay, click on OK and say OK. Now I will go for fillet. Click on this edge, similarly on this edge, and similarly on this edge, and take it onto this edge. Then I will go for fillet. Will type fillet, take radius as 5 and click on OK. So once you do that, so you will have the dimension here. Similarly, if you want to modify this, I will go for change parameters and take the radius of this as 3 and say OK. So automatically it will reduce. Similarly, I want to add. So I'll go for number of rows as 10 and number of columns as 10. OK, click on OK. So now you have the sheet, the plate thickness as 5. Now suppose if I want to increase the plate thickness, I'll just go to the change parameters and go to here height. You take the height as 50 and say click on OK. So once you do that, so automatically the dimensions, automatically the plate will going to be updated. So this is how you will be able to use the parametric modeling on the fusion, wherein I can increase the length of the plate and decrease the length of the plate, and I can do whatever I want. So this is the advantage. I can go for a square, I can go for a rectangle, I can increase the diameter. Suppose if I want to increase, I'll go for change parameter. Instead of hole diameter as 20, I will take 50. See what happens. The moment when you say click on OK, so now you will get the 50 mm diameter of the hole by 10 by 10. So then I will get, this is the height. So this is how I will be automatically, that stretch will going to be taken care. But only thing is the external spacing will going to remain the same. That will not going to be changed. Suppose if I want to say the external spacing I want to increase, I will just go for external spacing. I will take, instead of 20, I want 25. I will go for 25. Internal spacing is 25 and the external spacing I want 30. So automatically the the plate will going to be stretched. So this is the advantage of using the parametric modeling in Fusion. Thank you.